trading. So Andre and I are going to be doing this Mondays and Fridays at 9 a.m. Eastern time start until about 11 a.m., 10:30, 11 a.m. But yeah, we're going to go over a few things here today, see if we can find anything live in the markets. We're obviously getting a little bit of a sell-off. Yeah, Andre, what are your thoughts going to the open? Maybe just give the guys everyone should know who you are, but just give them a rundown.
What's up, guys? I'm Andre. I'm the CEO and founder of edgeful. I'm actually very excited to start to do these. It's been a pretty big request for us to do some more streams, like more content rather than like some explainer videos. So I'm super excited about it. We're going to be doing it twice a week, 2 hours from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be talking about live trading. We'll talk about the markets. We'll talk about edgeful updates. We'll talk about like pretty much like anything trading, edgeful, markets related. So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm getting the guys asking in the live stream. Yeah. Andre just wasn't feeling too great this morning, but we're going to do it. We're going to rock with it. I'm getting blown up in the Discord right now.
Sorry guys, if I keep clearing my throat, it's because I can't even talk right now properly, but it's still here.
Yeah. No, all good. Okay, perfect. And we're gonna get some guests on as well going forward. So, but for now, every single Monday and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern time we'll start. So, what are your thoughts coming to the open, Andre, at the moment? Let's get your screen up, and then we can maybe there we go.
So, first thing, like I always talk about in terms of like morning routine. For me, my morning routine is always going to be based on this indicator. I'll make this a little bit bigger because I imagine it's pretty small, but it's always going to be based on this edgeful indicator. It's called edgeful ultimate reversal setup. What this does is it automatically plots I'll just turn on the labels quickly. Just 1 second. Okay. So what we can see here, it might be a little bit small for you guys, but what you can see here is it will plot the previous session's high, the previous session's low, the opening retracement, which is the midnight open, it's the opening price of the midnight candle, and then also the gap fill, the previous session's close. So every single day, I want to understand where are we opening relative to these levels, right? The indicator will plot it for you every day. You never have to worry about it being correct. It will be automatic. You can fully customize it too. So you can change the colors. You can change whatever else you want. Personally, I'm happy with the default. But right now, when we open below, we open below the previous day's low. We open below the midnight opening price. We open below the previous close, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean? In my eyes, that means the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to the outside days report, going to NQ, going to over here. What I'm doing is I'm looking here, right? Bearish outside day. Today's very likely, because we have 13 minutes until the market opens, today's very likely to open below this red line.
Yes.
And if every time that's happened in the last 6 months, let me just make this a little bit bigger here. Every time that's happened in the last 6 months, 62% of the time, price has reversed up to touch this red line, right? So for me, I'm trying to build a bias. I'm trying to build my levels. I'm trying to build what are my targets going to be today? This is how I literally do it every single morning is, are we opening inside or outside of this range? It's kind of boring, but trading doesn't have to be exciting. It needs to be simple. It needs to be process oriented and routine oriented. So
yeah. That's something as well. Like for me this week on my pre-market prep this morning, I went over. I've had 2 wins and 1 loss this week. I tried to buy off a level yesterday that maybe wasn't there. I should have been just looking for the move lower. We end up getting a bounce later on in the afternoon. Obviously, I was just off for that 30-point rise on ES, and it was quite a nice bounce as well on the Nasdaq. About 100 points. But yeah, I mean, something I'm trying to work on in my own trading right now is trying to do less, but do it, be more aggressive in my position sizing on my better setups. And I think, I don't know about you, Andre, but in my trading career, I've been trading for 7.5 years right now. I had hair before I started trading, so that tells you something. But it's like just, if you come to the desks, in the back of your mind saying, I don't need to trade, you have that mindset, I think it helps a lot. Just put you in the right perspective. You're waiting for your A+ setups. And that's something I'm trying to work on personally in my own trading. I just think, and this is something, again, like these prop firms sometimes encourage you to trade every single day, or try and, because you got to meet the consistency requirements and whatever it is, or the $200 in a day. Whereas like on personal cash accounts, if you want to size up 5 times your amount, you can do so because there's no trailing drawdowns and all of this stuff. So that's why I always, as something as well to speak also on the edgeful algos, I found that I'm doing a lot better.
Let me cut you off one sec.
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing us live on Twitter and YouTube right now? I just want to double check because we should be live on all the platforms. And I just want to make sure that this is working properly.
Yeah. Let me have a look. I can go on Twitter. Let me have a look here. So I'm live on my X account. Let's go to edgeful's X account.
Okay, I see it. Okay, great.
Yeah, edgeful's X account is also live. So now, then it's all got to do with the YouTube, but I think that should be fine as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we are live at the moment.
Okay,
Started
great.
5 minutes ago on the edgeful X account too.
Perfect. So. Sorry. So you were talking about the algos.
Yeah, I was talking about the algos. What I found as well is because I've been running them on some personal cash accounts, it's been a lot easier with the drawdowns to actually make money on, because on these prop firm accounts, they might give you 4% drawdown, which in all reality is really not a lot. 4% drawdown is actually minuscule.
Yeah, I think that sometimes people get very attracted to the price and the idea of like a 50K or 100K or like a 150K account. And obviously they're not actually 150K accounts. They're just, it's like a 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 or whatever it ends up being of drawdown. But the thing with what people kind of treat them like scratch off tickets. And if you treat it like a scratch off ticket, it's going to be impossible to actually make money over the long term, because you're treating it like a YOLO, like, oh, if this one trade goes 100 points, I'm going to pass this eval. And then once I pass, then I'll be disciplined.
Yes.
Right.
Then I'll be disciplined. Yeah. You feel corrected until, I agree.
It's such a shame. And like what I've seen is that a lot of people risk 30, 40% of their account every single day.
Yeah.
Trying to pass these evals. And it's just like I understand being aggressive and I understand that your downside is protected. So like swing for the fences. And I know that it does work. Like being more aggressive obviously can work, but you just need to have the expectation that you are going to blow more accounts. Like period, full stop. Like there's no arguing it. Like this is not like my opinion. This is just like a fact. If you risk half of your account per trade, or you risk meaning half of your drawdown limit per trade, like you can only take so many trades before you blow up. That means that you need to be extremely, extremely accurate with your entries, with your take profits, with your stop losses. You need to be super disciplined. And realistically, not that many people have built that skill yet. And they get upset when they blow accounts. It's just like, that's how it works, right? Like you take more risk, you're going to blow up more. And that's fine. Like if you're fine with that, that's fine. Like if you'd rather go through 5 accounts in a month than one account taking you a month to pass, that's fine. You just have to decide what your risk tolerance is.
Correct. That's why, sometimes personal accounts, I do enjoy trading still personal accounts as well.
Yeah.
But let's go to a few things here. So we've got some guys speaking on the YouTube comments here. Are you guys reading YouTube comments? Yes, so we are. Make sure to put your comments in the chat there. We will get through them. They can hear us live on the YouTube as well. What is your overall? I'm facing the same issue, James. Trading every day leads to blowups. I agree. So someone just put that on the chat there. Trading every single day does lead to blowups. I agree. Like from my perspective, that's something I'm trying to work on. Is I find I trade better when I actually trade less, and then I size up on those better setups. I 100% agree with you guys on that. Yep.
One thing about that is, for anyone who's seen the algos, the edgeful algos, if you look at something like the orb, the performance is amazing, and it literally can only take 1 trade per day.
Yeah.
The amount of people that have asked us, hey, can you add more? Like, can you have it so it can take more trades per day? Can you add it so it takes a trade on every breakout? And I'm like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Like, it should not be like people always overcomplicate it because it's like this, like trading or finance in general, like the financial industry is like all these like jargon terms where it's like these acronyms and these like weird terms, like these weird words. But honestly, it's really important to realize that sometimes like the simpler the better.
Yeah.
Like if your setup works in this market environment, stick to that setup. You see someone else trading a different asset, or you see someone trading options when they have a 500% play trading options. You're like, well, maybe I should start looking at options. It's like the shiny object syndrome.
Yes.
Everyone wants to just jump to the next thing, jump to the
Correct.
next thing, jump to the next thing.
Correct.
It's
Or you see, I think personally for me, this is one of the biggest ones, Andre, is social media sometimes can be a bit of a shit one because you're trading and you're trying to follow your processes, and then you see someone killed it on the trading day or whatever it was, and then you go and you try and, or they're trading YM and you're like, you've never traded YM before, and you go and try and dabble in that and it messes you up.
Yeah. I think that seeing people post like screenshots of their winners on a day that you are red sucks. Like like on the days, like for example, yesterday there was a giant move down, and I'm sure that a lot of people caught shorts. I'm also sure that a lot of people tried to catch the bottom, right? It's just the way that it works. And everyone who lost didn't post their P&L, and everyone who won posted their P&L. And that's the way it works every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day, there are however many people that win, their P&Ls are getting posted. However many people that lose, their P&Ls are getting posted. Or sorry,
sometimes not posted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the loser that you never see. I mean, it's super, super rare that you see people actually post their losing trades consistently.
Correct.
Right. That's a very, very key thing where you just need to make sure that you, like someone like James here, obviously live trades every day, posts his entire journal, posts like totally fully transparent.
Yeah.
So he's not hiding anything from anyone, right? That's like what you want to look for when you're looking to like follow some people, is not just like, oh, here's how my weekend did.
I make 20K every day and it's so easy, that type of stuff. Let's speak about a few levels here. So I've got some people asking about our daily bias, and then maybe we can also speak about the ultimate reversal setup. But we are going to be looking for trades here live into the open, guys. I typically do wait the first 50 minutes of the open unless something's super clear. Let's just put on my screen over here.
Go for it.
Let's go like this. There we go. Yeah. So just on ES at the moment here, we can see I was speaking about that opening week range report on the pre-market prep stream. So Monday's high and Tuesday's low. What we can see over here is that this is
we got the indicator, by the way.
You do have I do have the indicator down on this screen over here, like this, the opening week range indicator. Where is it here? I've got so many indicators. There we go. Opening week range. Okay, there we go. There we can see like this. Okay. So basically what this report tells us is after Monday and Tuesday have played out, if we take out one side, we can see that, call it, what's that, 53% of the time, or was that 63% of the time? 63% of the time, one side will hold. Okay. So only 37% of the time do we break both sides. Now we are trading underneath Tuesday's lows as well. So very tough to be a bull at the moment right now. So my thought process coming into the open here, and we can get yours as well, Andre, but my thought process at the moment is obviously we've been making, this is a 50-minute time frame on ES. We've been making lower highs, and unless we get above pre-market highs here, which would be at 770, call it. That's maybe would mean I could flip and maybe get long and trade back in towards that range. But for now, I'm going to stay short bias heading into the open. I must say, I don't like the risk reward ratio opportunities over here because you are selling at the low of the week. But that's just me right now. But we'll see what the open brings. The last 2 days, or on Wednesday and Tuesday, we've had a short bias, but we've actually popped at the open over here on Tuesday and on Wednesday as well. So let's just be aware of that too.
Yeah, one thing that I want to talk, let me just pull up my screen one more time here. So for anyone who is interested in holding a position yesterday, right? This is something that I was going to do, but I was going to do it with option selling specifically, but I couldn't get the premiums that I wanted. The premiums were pretty dead. But so if we see here, right, let me just put that indicator back on so I can, right here, right? This is the week, right? This is this week, right? We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? This report, this is wrong, but this report right here, high and low by weekday, is going to tell you what weekdays make the highs and lows of the week most often. What I want to look at specifically is the bi-weekly candle. It's pretty obvious this week is going to be a red week. Like there's no way that price, maybe if there's a news, but it's pretty obvious this week is going to be red. Even yesterday, like if we just look at yesterday's price action here, or this week's price action as of yesterday, like let's pretend this didn't happen yet today. Like let's pretend it's yesterday at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Sure.
By the way, the market opened, guys.
Yep.
Should
we ring the bells?
Yeah.
Start ringing the bells.
If we look, this is obviously going to be a red week here. And if we go to this report and we look at all the red weekly candles on NQ, 62% of the lows of those weeks have been on the Friday.
Yep.
So you should not and now it's done. It correctly happened right now. There is price action lower. The lowest price action in the New York session is on the Friday here. So again, if you were looking to swing positions bullish, that would be a big mistake, because right over here, we can see 62% of all the red weeks, the low has been made on the Friday, right over here.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm with you.
You can pull your screen up again just so you can.
Yeah. So we are flushing lower here on the open. As I said, I don't think it's a good, for me right now, it would be tough to find a position at the moment. Let's go down to like a 5-minute time frame. It still obviously looks very, very bearish. I mean, you could maybe have your stop here at 741, but that would be quite a big stop on ES. Something for me as well, Andres, I've been trading a lot of stocks on my individual personal account, obviously because the prop firms don't really offer it, but I've been trading a lot of stock names and then just focusing on ES and NQ. I have found ES to be a little bit more cleaner at times. NQ can be quite wicky from time to time. But that's just my own thought process. Anyone got their bias or anything that they looking at coming into the open here? Yeah,
let us know, guys.
Yeah. So I would not be surprised though. I would not be surprised if we maybe form like a low over here and we start grinding higher or V-bottoming out here, because we have had a big sell-off the last couple of days, Andre.
Yeah.
Just if you look at the daily time frame as well on NQ, I think this pullback is probably a good pullback right now. We're sitting 5% off the all-time highs. We're getting back towards this 50 EMA on the daily chart, and we also did bounce from this level again. Kind of like you could see this as like a break and retest of structure. So he has like the highs, breakthrough, and then maybe you look for a continuation. But the big thing for me is we can do a lot of forecasting and everything like that. We just got to trade what's in front of us again.
Yeah. So do you ever look at the other stocks like during your pre-market prep?
I do have a look at mainly the Mag 7 stocks, but particularly like Nvidia and Tesla. I spoke about Tesla this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, literally what I do is on TradingView. I'll pull up my screen for a second.
Also, I have found, and this is just me, I have been trading for 7.5 years, but I have found that in my experience of trading, like sometimes when I'm not getting a clean setup on ES and NQ, I might go through to like an individual stock name, like a Tesla, or sometimes even like an AMD or Palantir that I can trade on my personal cash account, and I might look to pay that. I think stocks personally for me, and obviously indexes are the best assets class to trade for sure.
Yeah,
they just trend a lot better. I spent too many years trading. I spent too many years trading FX, bro.
I was about to ask you about that. You used to trade Forex. What?
All the time, bro. And I had some really good years, but about in 2024, it really just dried up for me. And like the volume on like the FX pairs were just so tough. Like, even though you can be a solid trader, what you trade is as important as how you trade. You can't be. I don't care how good of a trader you are. If you're having a 25-point range on pound dollar, you can be a fantastic trader. It's going to be very tough to trade that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I always wondered, besides like location, besides like geographic limitations for why you can't trade certain assets, why people would trade Forex over futures or options or
I'll tell you this. The first one is obviously South Africa. We actually can't open up like a personal. There's only maybe 2 brokers that we can open up futures accounts with on personal, and it's such a mission, bro. Sometimes it takes like a week to to get the funds deposited or withdrawn or everything like that. And we can trade the indexes on CFD contracts, so that's what I do in my personal cash account. And it's the same. It's really the same thing, honestly. The only thing is obviously you don't have the set data on each individual broker will be the same, will be different.
Yeah.
But I think I traded FX a lot because it's just a lot more accessible. Like in South Africa, I don't believe we can trade options. That's why I'll go and trade the stocks either as buying the physical stock of it, or I'll trade them as a CFD contract as well. So that's
how does the CFDs work? Are they levered?
They are leveraged. Yep, they are leveraged.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that luckily we don't have to deal with.
Yeah. Exactly. There's three things that sometimes can beat you down. There's liquor, leverage, and women, bro. You got to be careful of leverage. But yeah, they're very similar to the way that futures trade, bro. So for example, you get the macros and minis. You don't get that on CFDs. The nice thing about the CFDs, if I want a 100-point stop on NASDAQ and I want to risk $1,000, I can do that. If I want a 20-point stop on the NASDAQ and I want to risk $1,000, I can do that as well. It's very easy just to calculate your risk like that, right?
Yeah. That's pretty good, honestly. And
yeah, it is actually. It's a little bit more easier compared to the futures contracts, I must say.
Yeah. And you can do that with individual stocks too.
Yeah, I can trade individual stocks. Correct. I can actually trade almost every single stock you can think of on one of the brokers that I do trade with.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. So we are kind of just selling off here. I'm not expecting a larger bullish move, but the sell-off continuation to the downside is a little bit
aggressive
to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something just so you guys know, another thing that I like to do is, so right now I'm on a 15-minute chart, and on TradingView I built this watch list. This is pretty much like the biggest weighted stocks. For the half of it is like biggest weighted stocks, other half is like just like big names. And I'll literally just go through with like my arrow down and just go through and like look at like what's going on. And I'll usually have a couple of days in my window here. So I'll have like the last couple of days and I'll just like look like, where are we? Okay. So like everything is looking the same. Everything is looking pretty bearish right now. I can quickly see that like Apple is bouncing right now. And that's going to impact obviously the NQ. It's going to impact the ES, obviously.
Yes.
And as we go through, like, okay, Microsoft is pushing, NVIDIA or Broadcom is dumping, right? And then this is what allows me to go through and just understand, okay, one thing. So like Netflix, for example, is pumping. And I can just very easily and very quickly, as I just literally like click this down arrow, go through and see like what's going on.
Yeah.
So like Uber, for example, doesn't really matter. PayPal doesn't really matter. Like these are just names that like I'm like actually just interested in. Like Costco actually surprisingly is pretty highly weighted in the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. I forget which one it is. But I'll literally just go through and do this like every single day and just go through and see, okay, like what's going on? Like what's pushing, what's dumping? Like, is there an outlier? Usually like Tesla will be the outlier of like everything is ripping. Tesla's dumping.
Yeah, something I do something very similarly. If you just let's switch back to my screen over here, like that. There, no, not like that. There we go. So at the top left hand of the screen over here, you can actually see that I've got all the Mag 7 names. So if you can actually put them on one chart, and I can see how they are trading. So this is Apple, NVIDIA, all on one chart, and you can see obviously we are dumping here.
What is that?
So you can, if you go by, like let's just go, you go like this, okay? You go Apple, and then you go plus button, okay? And then you can put on Tesla like this, Tesla, and then you just hit add, and then you see how it adds it together. Yeah. So it puts the whole Mag 7 as one chart.
That's insane.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. You can see Apple, NVIDIA, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. Then it's all on one chart, and I can see, so it basks them in one, and you can actually see what the Mag 7 are doing as a total, as the total. Yeah, which is quite nice. Yeah. But yeah, ES, we're breaking through these 700 levels as well. I mean, this is pretty, I mean, from the open now, we've already dropped 20 points. Yeah. Yeah. What I know you were speaking about buying Meta stock. I mean,
I did.
Yeah, you did. Okay, nice. Yeah, my dad was asking me about a few stock to buy. I was telling him Meta, also Robinhood, but obviously we're seeing the sell-off. When you get sell-off across the board, it's quite tough. But when you're buying physical stock, I think you got to look at the broader term. Like you got to look at like months, not days. I told him, it's down 4% today, but just wait. You have a stop level in place or idea where you'd like to get out or wrong, and you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Honestly, I don't even. First of all, this range on this opening range on NQ right now is absolutely monstrous.
Oh, you can actually get the comments in the right hand side. Nice. Yeah, leave your comments in.
You look at something like Meta, right?
Yeah,
and it's getting demolished.
Yeah.
I'll just
he has a daily chart on Meta. So of all-time highs, which was set back in August, we are down 24%.
Yeah, and the thing is, the only thing, of course, everyone's like, buy the dip, but then what happens when it keeps dipping, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So for example, for me, when I saw that I bought it at 660, I bought it at 650, I bought it at 620 something yesterday, I think 621 or whatever it was.
Yeah, you got to layer in basically.
Yeah, you can't just use all your money on one. You can't use all your cash on one order. Right?
Agreed.
Something else that has really, really, really benefited me a lot is setting orders just in the future.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is NVIDIA, for example. I'll pull up my screen one more time.
Yeah, pull up your screen there.
For example, NVIDIA here, when it was at 150, I set an order at 99. And I totally forgot about it. I completely forgot that I set an order at 99. So around April, there's all this conversation about the tariffs, whatever else. And I get filled, and I totally forgot that I got filled. Now, it's been an amazing trade. The same thing with Visa. Visa I bought at 255 because I just set an order.
Sure.
There's so many times where Google was one I actually was actively buying around here, which I was tweeting about also. I was Google's totally undervalued. But I just go through and I check what price levels can I put orders at, and then just leave it. Yep. And it will take the emotions out. First of all, you'll probably forget about a lot of the orders, but it'll take the emotions out of it. And Netflix is another one. I bought Netflix at 380 and 400 right over here. So after it was at 485, I bought it at 380 and I bought it at 400. So on the way down here, I had an order at 400. I had another order at 380, and now it's at whatever. It peaked at 13 something, but now it's at 1100.
Sure.
That for me is something that I really like to do. But yeah, it's same thing goes for Meta at 600. I'm personally buying Meta at 600.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. You got to think with a longer term and dollar cost averaging possibly. Yeah. I'm just watching price action. I want to see how we do react here at this level.
Yeah. I'm not interested in this yet at all right now because this opening range is
I agree. It's pretty crazy.
It's very, very big. This is not something that you typically see. If you look at your orbs, orb sizes, they're usually less than 0.5%. And now this is 50% bigger than that. So I want to kind of wait, let the dust settle a little bit and let it run. Just kind of let the dust settle, honestly.
Yeah, I've got one of these. I've got an FTMO account. I know we were speaking about that to trade on stream. Yeah, it's connected via Trade Copier to my personal. So we'll see if we can. This is the only thing with CFD. Some of the platforms are very old school, bro. For sure.
You can't connect them to.
No, you can. I can connect them to my personal accounts. 100%.
No, can you connect to TradingView or something?
You can, but TradingView sometimes TradingView sometimes can be a bit slow to execute on. I found.
Yeah, it is very bad.
Yeah.
For example,
one click trading and stuff like that, it can be quite just very slow to actually execute on. Whereas this is pretty quick. Like I'll show you on the CFDs. I wanted to, because I don't think you've ever seen this. This is the MT5. This is the MT5 background. Let me just get this on. I just need to get my expert advisor on. Andrew and Bruce, can we have a daily buys for London and Asian session? Yeah, you can, definitely. But for example, let's just have a look over here. Andrew, I want to show you how cool this is. So let's go like this. Okay. Like let's just say I wanted to buy the S&P. See, I can change my risk like this. So if I wanted to risk 1%, which is a brand new 100K FTMO challenge, and I go buy calc, see, I can select where do I want my stop. Obviously, there's the red. And I can put it over there, and it will change my lot size for me. I'm still risking 1%. Or if I want to tighter like that, I can do that as well. And then if I want to change that to 2% risk, so that'll be obviously $2,000 on a 100K account, I can change it as well, and it will change the lot size, which is pretty cool. Yeah. That's the only nice thing about.
Where is it changing? Where's the lot size like showing?
So if you look in the bottom right, so bar calc, 2%, you see over there, it says volume 40 over here.
Oh.
Okay. So obviously if I move this closer, it will get bigger, volume 65.
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah.
Why doesn't, I guess TradingView does that.
Yeah, TradingView does that as well. This is just, I bought that expert advisor over here in the top right that does the calculation for me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's 9:45. The opening range is set.
Yeah, opening range is set. See what NASDAQ. See, throwing a pin like that gets me, maybe we could see a bounce here, relief bounce. But let's see. Yeah, and you can get a daily buys from London session. There's something also called the market session correlation report. Where is it there? Like this, and you can choose, okay, if London session was bullish, what are the percentage that New York closes green and so forth? And you can change the times and customize it and everything like that to your timing. I think personally for me on the edgeful stuff, I don't really use like tons of reports. I think more simple is better, but that's just me.
Yeah, I fully agree. You don't need to use 10. You don't need to use 20 things. Like using a couple is more than enough. And you don't want to really have.
Again, like just to go back while we wait for maybe an opportunity to set up here on one of these indexes. I think that, if you guys have been struggling in your trading, I've always come into the day or week with work-ons. What am I working on? What am I trying to do? I think if you've been struggling, you can't continue doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. So if you are trading all day, every single day, trying to, taking 50 trades a day or 10 trades a day, try and slow it down. Do something. You got to try and do something different because, I mean, Andre, I know as well as me with the coaching and that, but I know with you with the guys that book calls and that, you can't keep on doing the same thing repeatedly and expect different results. I've seen guys come on and they're doing the same thing that they were doing 6 months ago. No wonder they're not making money because they haven't changed one bit.
Yeah. Honestly, what I see the biggest issues is that people have the wrong expectations of like how this actually works.
Yeah.
Like you come into this because you see, so this is actually something I was saying on a call yesterday, was that trading is very simple, but it's not easy. There's a very big difference between simple and easy, right? Golf is very simple. You hit a ball, right? Yeah. It's not easy at all, right? Like building a rocket is not simple and it's also not easy, right? Yep. So there's a very big distinction between simple and easy. And I think that people get them kind of like they combine them in their mind because they're like, oh, if I need to put this block over here and this block over here and like I just put another one on top, like that's easy and it's simple. Like this is like a children's toy, right? Click buy, you click sell.
I think also in saying that too, there's a quote that I don't know who said it, but it's so true. So just a bit of our backgrounds. I played professional rugby. I'm based in South Africa. You can see the flag behind me. I do like American sports, so as you can see too. But I studied I did professional rugby, and I played from since I could walk. I got paid my first professional contract when I was 18, left school. So it basically took me, 17 years to start getting paid. I also did my BCom degree, which took me 4 years. It should have taken me 3, but I was messing around to get right. And Andre worked he's also got his degrees and stuff like that, and worked at what was it, Morgan Stanley, right?
Dude,
Goldman
you keep saying that.
Goldman Sachs. And sorry, don't want to. He doesn't like the competitors, but Goldman Sachs. And the thing is, like, trading is so accessible for everyone. It's like, you want to be a doctor, study for 8 years. You want to be an accountant, study for 4 years. You want to be a trader, start tomorrow. And that's the thing, is like, trading is, you got to see it as any other career. Yes, it's, as you said, it's simple. Like, you can come on the charts, anyone can place a trade, but to actually have the discipline to sit on your hands and wait. That's why I always think that having, other ways of making money is crucial, because sometimes you're not going to get your setups every single day, or you're in a losing streak, whatever it is. Start of this year, I was in a losing patch. I had just had my son, who was born in February, and it was a massive life change, so you can't be, and I just went through a rough patch, in terms of my execution, oversizing, all the mistakes you can think of. But I think if you come to the desk every single day trying to be better than you were the day before, you're gonna go places.
What you said about you want to be a doctor, it takes whatever 8 years. You want to be a rugby player, it takes 17 years. You want to be a trader, you can start tomorrow. Like, just open your account. Yeah, that's the truth. I think that so many people have the wrong expectation. And by the way, I'm not seeing any trades set up. Just so you guys know, this is like, we will like talk about the trades that set up. I'm not seeing anything right now. I'm not interested in anything at the moment, just so you guys know.
But if we take a trade, we'll let you know and why and everything like that as well. This is what you can expect from these streams. Sorry to butt in there, Andrew, quickly.
No, it's good.
What you can expect from these streams every single Monday and Friday, are we going to be talking here, whatever, sports, we talk everything, finance, whatever it is, trading psychology, but we're also going to take trades live. If a setup presents, we had to, show you that we take trades live based on what and why.
100%. So I just wanted to mention that, because I'm sure you guys are like, where's the trading? But it's super important to, I'm just setting something up. One sec. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So it's very important that you guys you have the right expectations, honestly, because if you don't, like, you're kind of screwed, to be honest, because if you think that you're going to come in here and you're going to click buy and sell, you're going to kick your feet back and you're going to make like $1 billion overnight, like, you are absolutely delusional. And maybe that's upsetting to hear, but it's the truth. And sometimes the people that have been struggling a lot need to hear that. And if you're risking too much of your account and you're struggling and you're not understanding why you keep blowing up your accounts, I'll give you a little bit of an inside scoop that you can't risk 30% or 40% of your account and make money consistently. This is something that, like, especially with the props, people really struggle to understand, because they come in, they see a $50, they pay $50, and now they have access to 50K challenge, right?
Yeah.
Which technically, whatever, is true, right? Technically, you have $2,000 of drawdown, technically, but not if you're going to risk such a big percentage, right?
Yeah.
It takes so much time to even understand what type of trader you are. Like, for example, I think one of the best trading psychology books is The Best Loser Wins by Tom Hugard. In that book, what he talks about is pretty much like hammering on your winners so hard that you like add to your winners and you let them run as long as possible. Now, he also says never add to your losers, which I agree with, both of those things, right? Hammering on your winners, adding to your winners, not adding to your losers, etc. The problem with that for me is my personality doesn't fit holding on to the bigger move.
This is the book, but
that's the book.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that doesn't fit my personality. I don't like to to have a low win rate with a really big risk to reward.
I agree. Yeah.
So you need to figure out what works for you. So some people don't really care about their win rate because they want to just capture the bigger move. And specifically, they hate to leave money on the table. If you don't like to leave money on the table, like if that like irks you and that causes you to tilt and chase your moves, you need to adjust your risk to reward and that style of trading to be based on like capturing the bigger move, right?
Yeah.
It also means that price you're going to be in profit and it's going to reverse on you and you're probably going to take a loss a lot. So even that part, you can't just follow someone that you like them, right? Like you open up James's streams, you open up this stream and you're like, well, Andre's taking this trade, I'm going to take this trade.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it might not suit your personality. You might not understand why I took it. You might not understand the risk. You might not understand like the type of trader that I am, right? So that's such like understanding that piece is a very fundamental piece of understanding who you are as a trader and like what your trading style is.
Yeah, you can learn from the trades that I take or Andre take or any of your other streamers that you watch, but
yeah,
you have to find trading is so different. Like I know one of the guys, the best trader I know that I've met in person. He'll swing 50 grand in a day. I've seen it live with my own eyes. But he'll take one position. He has a thesis of the market. He'll read price action. He'll take one position. He'll open it at say 10 a.m. Eastern time. And you'll literally go about his day. He has 3 kids, so you'll go about his day, and you'll look at about an hour before market close. He'll close his position out for win or loss. But that's how he trades.
I could never do that.
I couldn't as well. I would hate my trade to go up like 50 points on ES and then reverse or whatever it is.
Yeah, I could never do that, and I have.
And I respect him. I mean, obviously it works for him. He's been able to build a great life for himself and his family. But I agree. Would never be. I'd have to check at least like every 15 minutes or whatever it is on my position.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat here just said, "Do you have any buying interest on ES if it gets up around 6,669 and reverses?" I am interested in that position. If we close bullish here on the 15 minutes, I'm tempted to try a small long. I won't be in with big size because simply I don't. We are obviously trading lower, but I do like maybe a stop here at 685 and maybe targeting back up to these levels at like 740.
By the way, guys, 3 minutes. We have consumer sentiment. So you should expect, I know it's not technically red folder, but you should absolutely expect a move.
Yeah.
Just so keep that in mind.
So also, where do you get your news? I personally use forexfactory.com, Andre, for my news.
I use us.econoday.com.
Interesting. I've never heard of that one.
It's
put it in the chat. Let's put it in the chat. I'll put mine in the chat. You can have a look at the calendar of I use Forex Factory.
I mean, it doesn't really. I don't really care which one, honestly. But
yeah, of course.
Just to pull up, this is what it looks like. So you can see. I'll make it bigger, obviously, but. So you can see it's not this. It actually updates very slowly. So if you care about the result, don't use this one because it updates very slowly. But you can see right here, consumer sentiment. I'll click on it, and then it'll tell me like what was prior consensus in the range, right? So then I know this is going to be at 10. This is going to be in. This hasn't happened yet, right? Why is it saying? Oh, okay. It's never mind because it said released on. But it didn't actually release yet. So in 2 minutes, we're going to see there's going to be something added to this, but this is what I use. It's very easy to like just visualize like what's what, but yeah, this is the one that I use.
Sure.
But what I just did here was I put up my NQ and ES chart, and I have my ultimate reversal setup indicator on there for both of these left and right. So NQ on the left, ES on the right, and consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. I mean, if we look here, it moved down very heavily from the open, but I don't want to be a bull right now just yet because this price action overall has been very bearish, especially throughout this week. But I would not be surprised if price touches previous day's low. Honestly, I would not be surprised, especially if we get a nice spike from data in about 50 seconds.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if we get a move here.
Anyone had any positions right now in the live chat or have taken anything? I think today's price action has been pretty crap right now, to be honest. Unless you got the flush down at the open, but for now, there's
Yeah,
nothing
which is
going.
tough, honestly. When I first started trading options, I always thought that like you need to catch that initial move, like
The opening range breakout move, basically.
like the actual like 9:30
Yes, move.
price action.
But actually, you do. I've actually found in my own data that a lot of my good trades like come after 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, depending on what you're looking at, but you look at after 10 a.m., you have a little bit of a range to go off of. You have like some structure to go off of. You have, and there's the data. Not seeing too much of a move here, but
not too much.
Just kind of, I'm just keeping an eye on this right now, but I don't really see.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Not really that big of a reaction, kind of surprisingly. But you can, so does Forex Factory show you? Oh, here, perfect, it updated.
Yeah.
So the actual, you can see right here, 50.3.
They always amend this stuff, bro. That's why I don't even read it.
No, yeah, I honestly, I don't really care. The only one I look at is GDP and CPI. But
yeah.
Sure. I never look into this. I never like look at the actual, but it's below the consensus, but whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's, I don't know. In order, you were just saying a long bias would not be bad right now. What do you need to see to like a new low of day for shorts and like a retest of low of day?
Yeah, that's probably what I'd have to see for shorts. For longs, I would like it to get above opening range high. I mean, we're not showing too much buying pressure coming in at the moment. So yeah, I wouldn't like to just fade the trend just for the sake of it or take it just for the sake of taking a trade. So right now I'm going to sit on my hands. I can't, what price action is doing right now doesn't suit how I like to trade. I do like to trade trend. And look, this is another little tip for you guys. Again, this is what I like to trade or wait for. So use it or don't use it. But look, our price action on ES is still inside the opening range. We haven't broken one side. So that just tells me that price action is pretty neutral right now. Yes, we've moved down, obviously, pre-market and into the open as well, but the high, we're still trading within the high and low. We haven't broken out one side. So even my edgeful algo wouldn't have even taken a trade at this given point in time.
Yeah. Dude, you want to, I mean, we don't need to, I'm not going to go into the details of this right now, but you should check the orb on the 3 minute.
On the 3 minute. Interesting.
I've never looked at a 3 minute chart in my life. I've never looked at a 2 minute chart in my life. It needs to be a 3 minute and not a 2 minute because 3 is evenly divided into 15. So it's 5 3 minute candles.
Sure.
Whereas like you can't go to a 2 minute chart because that's like 15 minutes divided by 2 is 7.5. So it would round to 8 candles. But the performance is like a little bit sneaky, like pretty good, honestly.
Interesting. I've never. I know Crudelli. Anthony Crudelli, one of the futures traders. OG futures traders. I like watching his stuff. He uses the 3 minute. Actually, funny enough.
Yeah, I might run a little algo with smaller size on a 3 minute just to kind of see what's good with it because the performance recently has been great. I'm like a little bit shocked at Friday. Usually, like I would expect more volume here. I mean, actually, the move in the morning was pretty high volume, but
yeah,
I'm a little bit shocked at like this is what I don't like to see. This barcode, right? Like move down, move up, move back down, move up, move back down. Like this is where you start to be like, okay, there's almost always this will be where you get chopped up and burnt.
Byron's in the chat here. Saja, I thought you would be sleeping after I dusted you in paddle this morning. One of my mates says in the chat. He took a long on NQ 5 minutes ago, trading towards. Yeah, it's. I mean, I could see, we overextended. I could definitely see, like, especially like the reversal guys, looking and trying to pick a bottom here. But just got to be careful of, you don't want to get in front of a freight train.
Yeah, exactly. So, just going through.
But I will say this is that We haven't taken the opening range low on a day that just flushes like that. That's so that, right now probably sitting on hands is the best thing at the moment.
Yeah. Let's just I'll just go through again, like what are these major market movers doing? The only one that's ripping is Apple. The only one that broke the orb high. Actually, I'll go to my screener quickly. I'm going to go to my screener. I'm going to switch this on just to see like what's broken out of the orb high.
Sure.
Here. So in a minute, this will update for Apple, but like practically nothing other than YM and RTY has broken out. So that's my, like here, NVIDIA breaks to the downside, Microsoft breaks to the downside, Broadcom not yet, Meta broke to the downside, Amazon consolidating near the low, Google broke to the downside, Netflix is broke the upside. So like there's not that much continuity here, and I'm not a super big fan of this right now, but
I do like Apple. Apple actually looks pretty nice breaking to the high side there.
So would you trade the CFDs on that?
Yeah, I'll trade the CFDs on Apple. Yep.
Yeah. You can't trade options, right?
No, not in South Africa. Probably a good thing for the guys that are degenerates.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get a water quick. Just you can pull up your screen. I'll be right back. Literally like 2 minutes.
Perfect. Let me get mine up here. There we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, as Andrew was saying, Apple is the only actually one on the Mag 7 that is taking the high side of the orb. We're not looking. ES and NQ still trading lower. So Sazo, we'll have to see how yours goes. NVIDIA is breaking the orb. Let's have a look. Yeah, NVIDIA breaking the orb to the downside. Very interesting to see what we do get. That the VIX is also trading higher at 21. So VIX higher normally means market down, or at least more volatility. What is the best way to learn the ultimate reversal setup? We put I think Andre put it in the chat there. Over here. There we go. So he put the link over there. Okay. So just go scroll up in the chat. He did reply to you there. So go check that out. You can trade options on RBKR in South Africa. Interesting. Yeah, but isn't it tough to get the money into RBKR? Like I've heard that takes like quite a few days. Hey, close before news. Hey, sorry, skunk. Nice, Sazo. Yeah, so Apple actually only one that's holding up on the Mag 7. Yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens here. We are breaking the lows on the ES chart as well. Nasdaq also. Yeah, Nasdaq. If you bought at the lows at 930, up, you would have got your 40 points. Is an RCT midnight retracement trade right now? Yeah. So if you're looking to trade back towards, I don't personally trade RCT style, but if you are trading back towards that midnight price on ES would be 761, and NQ would be about 315. So good risk reward ratio if you are looking to do that. So again, guys, every single Monday and Friday, Andre and I'll be on here live, 9 a.m. Eastern time start until about 10:30, 11. Yeah, Apple, the only stock that is actually looking bullish. It's Google down. Robinhood was something else. Yeah, there we go. Robinhood I was liking on the daily time frame here.
To trade or to buy?
No, buy. Just buy long term. Yeah.
What do you think about a short scalp long right now?
I've been saying that I do like it now, especially if we are rejecting that opening range low. I agree. It'll definitely be a smaller trade, more scalpy trade. Yeah. NQ. Let's just see how the next
I'm just
5.
putting my headphones in.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? I just put my headphones in, so I
Yeah,
want to
there
make
we go. We can hear you. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of like a scalp long right now, at least on NQ to like 25,000. I mean, that's a 60-point move, but
yeah, I'm actually if we close, yeah, if we close out on the 50-minute time frame on Apple, I might just take an Apple trade as well and see how that goes. Let's have a look there. What bring up your screen there, Andrew? What would you be looking at on
the risk is too big right now. I'll pull up my screen, but the I don't love the stop at a new low of day because it ends up being 50 something points, but I do like a retest of 25K right now, potentially up to 2550, like if you want to hold runners, but I don't like the wick is too long here.
Sure.
Because I don't want to put my stop like in the middle of this wick here. Because that's like
okay, I'm gonna be a bit adventurous. I'm gonna take a small long on ES at the moment.
Oh, this fucking sucks. Oh, I just sorry guys. But this is like what not that I actually had an entry because I had missed the majority of it, but this is what I don't like personally when, like, let's just say I was sitting here because I wasn't sitting here the whole time. Like when this move down happened, let's say I was sitting here and now price starts to go to my TP1, which just hit, which was the 25K. And now I would say personally, this 25.45, this next candle high, this 5-minute high would be my next target. But now I'm sitting here not in a position wondering like, I don't want to chase it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'll go long at 701 on ES.
So.
And I'm just going to be looking to
what's your risk on that?
1%. So $1,000.
Like where's your
risk back down at the low, 19 points.
Wow. Yeah. On NQ, that's a sorry.
No.
Yes, that's a big that's a big stop.
It is a big stop. But you see what I'm saying? Like I can still, even if I had a 5-point stop, I could still be risking $1,000. That's the futures contracts are just different.
Yeah. Yeah, you can really customize it like totally, right?
Exactly. 100%. If I want a 30-point stop on ES, I can still risk $1,000.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, because obviously on the futures contracts, you kind of have like your set, like, okay, if you normally trade 2 minis, you'll take it with 2 minis, but then you can't, if you only know your risk after you have to go like, oh geez, I can't go with a big stop loss. And like if I'm risking my normal size of 2 minis, you might have to size down. Yeah. We're getting some. Yeah, are you using the edges from Edgeful? Of course. We the edges for ledges, boss.
Edges let's look at this one sec, guys. So what I'll pull up here is the orb on NQ. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Friday. Okay. So single break today, which doesn't seem to be like it's going to be the case here. But single break today is 60%. Double break is 38%. So we go to the standard report. It's practically 50-50 on whether there'll be a double break or not. So to me, this is not super helpful, right? The way that I actually look at this, specifically when it's like this, is that I cannot use a break of the orb to be my confluence, right? I can't be like, oh, it broke one side. I'm going to go expect to break the other side.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas the IB is very different, where you can say, okay, it broke one side. I don't want to expect to do this. So in this case, you don't really have too much to work with. What you can do, which I don't typically do, because I don't trade discretionarily off of the orb. I use the orb algo, and then my discretion comes with the IB, because it's a lot like the numbers are a lot smoother, and like it's honestly just a lot easier to trade. But again, here, if we go to a 30-minute orb, which is a little bit more rare, not super helpful in terms of the stats, right? The orb, this like opening time frame is not fantastic if you want to trade a single or double break. But I do still think that price in this case is going to retrace back to this 45 on NQ, which in this case for ES would be roughly this like 712, 6712. Even though there's a little consolidation here, the issue now is that like I missed my entry. And even if it retests back to this 950 area even, I probably am not going to take this because I don't like to re-enter on a retest because it's never as good as the first time. Like the second entry is never as good as the first entry, in my opinion. But in this case, that TP1 was hit at, not that I did not take the trade, but I was saying that I think we retest 25,000 and then 2550, but the risk was just too big based on when I sat back down at the screen.
Yeah. So it's a good 5-minute closure for my trade on ES. Now we just need to see opening range high. I just need to see some continuation follow through. That would be obviously ideal.
Yeah. So in 15 minutes, we get everything set here.
Yeah, that would be the opening candle continuation and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So
going to the screener, going to the daily bias screener.
There you go. Getting a little bit of movement pop there for me.
Yeah, there you go. So there's that target on ES just hit, that one I was just talking about, 67. Wow, this is like actually bothering me so much right now. I mean, I'm happy it's working.
You could have had 5 minis on Andre.
Yeah, I know. I know, honestly. But for me, the risk was too big here. So like roughly 70 points is what.
That's so. You see, like for me, I don't think, because I'm trading it's cool that you're getting to kind of check the CFD side of things too. I don't care about stop loss size, because if I'm risking $1,000, it doesn't matter if I'm going to have a 50-point stop on ES or a 10-point stop. It's the same thing, really.
Yeah.
But for futures, obviously, if you got 50 points on futures, geez, you're going to have to trade like one macro, bro, if you want a massive stop like that.
Yeah, I mean, my typical stops are in the range of 50 points on NQ, but it's like a lot, honestly. And because I don't care about, personally, I don't really care too much about risk to reward. Like I don't really care for like a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 or whatever else.
Yeah.
And by the way, this 45 level did just get hit, by the way. This TP1, this TP2 did get hit. If you guys are in this trade, like what James was saying, your next target is obviously going to be new high or high. Yeah. But my typical stops are roughly 50 points, because I'll go for a 1-to-1, I'll go for a 0.9-to-1, I'll go for a 1.1-to-1.
Sure.
I don't really care, honestly.
Yeah.
I typically don't try to go for more than like a 40 to 60 point move.
Sure.
And that's literally it. Like I'm not gonna, I personally don't go for like 150, like I mentioned earlier. Like it's not my personality to hold on to a trade for that long. I just find myself, I found that every time I try to do that and like squeeze my winners, and now I'm like aggressively trailing my stops and I'm pushing my profit target more, like trying to catch this beautiful, like 0 red candles move.
Yeah.
It ends up like I end up getting stopped out.
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes, bro, I'll be up. Sometimes for me, I'll be up like I'm 19 points of risk on this trade. I might be up 9 points, 10 points, and I'm like, I don't really like this. Let me just pull it and see. Oftentimes, I might come back to break even, and I can look for maybe another potential entry or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just while we are on stream here, let us know what would you like to see more from these live streams. We obviously just started them. We'll be going again from Monday. We're going to get some guests on. We'll obviously be trading live, but yeah. Let the guys know in the Discord that these streams are here, and yeah.
Do you ever use a 1-minute chart?
Bro, I used to. I hate it. I can't stare at a 1-minute chart all day, every day, bro. It's just a bit too much for me.
I used to do 1 minute.
Just a quick one. I've taken some profits on that spark up now on ES. I've just got half of my position left. We'll see. I was up about 8.5 points on that. The reason just being a bit more aggressive as well is I'm trading counter trend to what the move's doing. If this comes low, I could be like, well, yeah, I was up 9 points, 8 points, and then it comes low. So let me just see if I can leave a runner on, but for now, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and counter trend, you zoom out to like practically any time frame. I mean, I'll go to a 30-minute quickly, but you look at this by going long here, like, yeah, you're in this case, like totally fine to go long here. I just was calling out a long trade a second ago, but the idea is we're clearly in a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, over and over again. In this case, if you're going to hold for a longer period, like throughout the day, for example, you want to be with the trend. And if you are going to be counter trend, you want to make sure that you're ready to take profits. Like you don't have the unrealistic expectations of the moves. But yeah, I fully agree with you there. So what chart time frame are you using right now?
5 and 15.
Yeah, that's the ones that I like. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the 1 minute.
Yeah,
dude, I know people that use 30-second.
Yeah, when I'm trading, no, I've never used that. When I'm trading discretion, I like to use like a 5 and 15 kind of like for what I'm levels and stuff like that, maybe hourly as well, and then 5 and 15 for executions.
Yeah.
Okay, we would like to see more how you use the insights. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I'm literally just about to pull that up right now.
Perfect.
So what I'm going to wait for is one sec. What I'm going to wait for is 10:30, obviously, so we can get the data kind of set in stone here. Thing is, right now we're in the middle of this range. This is like not the best price action to go from. So yesterday was a much better example of how to use, like the price action was much cleaner. But what I want to do here is I want to look at the opening candle continuation, look at the IB, look at the IB by rejection, look at previous day's range. So if we look at previous day's range for a second, almost everything has broken previous day's low. What we know from that, as we can see right here, is my overall bias for the day should be bearish because based on just this report exclusively, when price breaks previous day's low, it is very likely to close red on the day, right? So that is obviously very bearish. But we need to wait for the opening candle to form. It seems obviously like the opening candle is going to be red. I mean, it might not be considering this momentum to the top side right now. But if this continues higher, it's going to completely flip the opening candle. It's going to completely flip the bearish bias. So we need to wait, right? So we have 9 minutes. It's not the end of the world. Like we'll wait for the 9 minutes and then we'll get an understanding. But what's standing out to me right now, what's coming to my mind is the IB by rejection. The IB by rejection is, where are my drawing tools? Here they are.
Someone just asked why you're trading the initial breakup for 1 hour. That we haven't had the first hour. That we're still 8 more minutes until the first hour.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was talking. That's what I was just saying. We have to wait that 9 minutes, 8 minutes now, but that's what I'm waiting for. But what we can see here is, let's just say that the IB sets right now, right? The highs form first, the lows form second. The same thing goes over here on the ES. Highs form first, lows form second, right? So if we look, the IB by rejection report on NQ, what we see here, for every time the low is formed first, well, in this case, the high formed first today. So for every time the high is formed first, 70% of the time, the first break out of the IB is to the downside, right? So what you want to see is exactly what happened yesterday. So I'm going to put this on. Just give me 1 second. Right, let's look at yesterday for a second. This is on NQ yesterday. Very obviously, the high formed first, right? High formed first, low formed second. You get a really nice bounce. Now, some people are going to expect continuation to the top side because they get this bounce. What the data is showing us here is that you should actually expect something like this, especially when you have a red opening candle, which in this case, it obviously was a red opening candle. In this case, again, break previous day's low as well. That's bearish. Red opening candle is bearish. The IB by rejection is bearish yesterday. So again, let's look at right now. Are we getting this setup again? Are we getting this exact setup one more time from yesterday to today, looking at broken previous day's low? IB high is formed first. red opening candle. And now we get this rejection. Now we still need to wait because it's not finalized yet, but everything is starting to lean bearish now. And targeting a break of either side. In this case, the first one you want to lean towards is the down. So this actually might not be a horrible place to actually get short, targeting the IB low. Sorry, James. I don't know if you're doing that trade.
No, I'm half out, so I'm back at break even now.
Yeah. So this is how you use the data to say the longs looked nice. Now you could have scalped long here in this case. The both targets that I was talking about were hit, but now is actually not a bad time to start to look for shorts. If you want to be the most conservative, you definitely want to wait for 10:30, just in case if there is a spike or there is whatever else. Like that is the way that you should do it. But you can kind of assume here now that the IB high is formed first, which means that the low is going to break. So does anyone have any questions about that? Because I know you guys want to see like how to use the insights like in real time.
Yes.
So
please, if you've got any questions on my trade, on Andre's thought process as well, that's why we're here.
Yeah. God, you know when like your throat is all,
dude, 100%.
Like you can't like swallow. That's like where I'm at right now. But
that's how you feel. That's how you feel as a Boston fan watching the Dodgers win the World Series.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Luckily I don't really care. I like the Red Sox actually, but I haven't watched baseball in like literally 10
years. Dude, I'm just getting into it kind of. All the rules are quite fascinating, I must say.
Who do you like?
I don't like anyone, to be honest. I have a favorite player, but I don't have. I watch more football, bro. My team's not too great either. But my favorite player, I love Freddie Freeman. He seems like a chill guy. Yeah.
No idea who that is.
He's plays for the Dodgers. He was on the Braves, the Atlanta Braves. Yeah. But no, I more watch football, bro. My team's the Vikings.
Oh God. Okay, guys. So we still have to wait. Just looking at this move up here, we still have to wait, but not to go really counter this move right now, but looking for shorts in this area is not a horrible idea, right? So in this case, if we get like a new intraday high, obviously excluding this high from here, if we break past this high and we see kind of like price failing in this area, I would be interested to take a short here targeting the IB low, and then obviously continuation down with runners. But the stops here are very big, which is annoying because the orb is huge. The orb being huge is really screwing everything up right now. This is it's not very typical.
The orb on ES is literally 35 points.
Yeah. So let me just put on the orb here 1 sec. So here we have an orb that's 190 points, 0.77%, almost 0.8%. It makes it hard to play with the ranges here because I know CFDs, you can obviously like manipulate your position size like perfectly to get the perfect stop and everything else, but you can't do that with futures. So you have to be a lot more careful with your position size and like where your entries are. Because personally, I don't like to set a stop based on a dollar risk. I like to set a stop based on where price is. And if I can't get an entry that will pretty much like where I want to like afford the stop loss, I won't take that trade, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So the shorts here with 2 minutes left, I would love if we can get a little spike up to 25.50, 0.50, and a fail. That would be a really nice short setup targeting the IB low right now. Same thing goes for ES, by the way. It's not exactly the numbers don't translate perfectly, but yeah, it's let me just put these.
Yeah, really slow price action this morning, I must say. Like,
Yeah, not great, honestly.
Yeah, just something interesting, something that I use in my own trading as well. On ES, we're trading above the New York session VWAP. So since the open, yes, we had the flush down, but price is actually trading above it. We can actually let's go like this.
You want to pull up your screen? Yeah,
like that. Yeah, you can see. So if you go like, you might see it more clearly, like on a lower time frame. Like, look at the blue line over here. That's the New York session VWAP. So from the open VWAP as well. So we are trading above that. That means that for me right now, price is inside the opening range. I was taking a long off the bottom of the range, but maybe looking for the highs. But at the moment, I think price is a little bit more, it's just consolidating at the moment. So yeah, like that. There you go. Yeah, but we can end here in the next couple of minutes, Andre, and then
we can sit for a little bit longer, just so we can get this to like play out a little bit. I'll just deal with it. My wonderful sore throat. It's totally fine. But yeah, I do want to see this play out here. I am. So now it's 10:30. The IB is set. The opening candle is set. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean you just get short right now. But yeah, looking at this here, this is where you want to start to look to say, if we can get some, I mean, these candles have already kind of formed, right? So the problem is that this looks like, I'm very zoomed in right now because I want you guys to be able to see it. But the problem is that like these wicks are, like the wick of this candle right here is almost 50 points or over 50 points. Like it's tough. It's tough right now to, I'm just going to remove that. I'll remove this. So looking right over here, I am expecting a break to the IB low here. I would have loved to see a pop up a little bit higher, but if we get it, we get it. Yeah, it's very slow price action right now. I mean, I'm not a chart patterns guy. Like I'm never gonna, like I don't use like ascending triangles and whatever else, but I do see kind of like a bear flag here on this like entire consolidation being like a little bit of a bear flag. A 5-minute bear flag, not a 15-minute bear flag here.
Yeah, I don't use those charts. I think it's quite tough sometimes.
Yeah, I never do it, but see, like the problem is now this range is so big that you could put a stop above right over here, but it's still a 70-point stop. So for anyone trading NQ, like 70 points is so much.
Yeah, that is a big stop, especially if you're trading futures contracts for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, well, how much risk, even with one mini, how much risk would that be? That would be
70 points. 50 points is $1,000 per contract.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you do 70 points times 20 points, it's 1,400 just for one.
Yeah. So, geez.
Yeah. So you're not even able to really like. It's a very wide stop because like you just like personally, I would rather be a little bit better with the entry than leaving like that big of a stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm considering taking the short, to be honest, but this would be like not a great setup. Like this would be like a B minus right now. But yeah.
Also, price hasn't really done much since we flushed the lows that we've actually on the lower time frames been making higher lows and higher highs. So what I mean by that, if we just go to my 1 minute chart, let's just bring up my screen again. If I show you like this, like look at this, like since we flushed the lows here, like look, we've kind of been making moves higher like that, So shorting against that right now is can be tough too. So I agree with that.
I mean, I'm expect this is exactly how you're going to use the data, guys. Like you just need to layer in your own entry model, which like in this case, like I just can't.
You got to I think you got to use the price action along with the data. think if you're only using the data, it can be quite tough too, because you still have to find like an entry point. That's why sometimes like using the RB by retracement can be nice and so forth.
Yeah. See, like the thing is now, what I was just explaining a second ago, and I really hope that everyone is like understand, even if it doesn't work today, I hope that everyone understands like the logic that I was using, because now I'll go back to my screener here and I'm gonna do this quick. Okay, so I just need a minute for this to refresh, but the point is here, we're using the data to determine the direction of the first break, right? And obviously, I'm leaning to the downside right now. I'm not guessing, I'm not predicting, I'm not a wizard. I'm using data to tell me that there are 3 major confluences that are going to tell me that price is going to break the IB low and not the IB high. Number 1, price is below the previous day's low, right? I'm going to go to a 5-minute quickly.
That's a good one. Yeah, I love that previous day's range report as well.
You actually was the one. You were
I
the
was
one
the
who
one that requested it. Yeah.
So price is below previous day's low. Very bearish overall, right? Number 2, the IB high formed first. And when the IB high forms first, 70% of the time, the low is the first break out of the IB. Number 3, the red opening candle, which means that price, the 1030 price was lower than the 930 price. Red opening candle. Very bearish. And now we want to expect one side to break. So those are the 3 things: previous day's range, IB buy rejection, and opening candle continuation. Now we know with almost a practical guarantee that the IB is going to break. Because if we go to the IB report, only 3 out of 132 days have not broken out of the IB. So we obviously want to expect one side to break. In this case, if we're going to go from the top or the bottom side, very obviously the answer is the bottom side, because of the 3 bearish biases that we had before. So are you going to go long here? You can, but if it's going to be a scalp, right?
Yeah.
You need to understand that in this case, even if there is some catalyst right now and price does this, it does not mean that the data-backed bias is to the downside.
Yes.
So just to give a little bit of a better example here, or a more relatable example, I guess. Steph Curry at the free throw line, 90%, right? Ballpark, 90%. But it doesn't mean that you're going to put your life on the line the next time he's up there, because you don't know if he's going to make that next one, right? But you know that over the entire season, it's going to be 9 out of 10. So you don't bet on the individual free throw, you bet on the season being at 9 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. So in this case, it still could break out to the top side. Very unlikely, but it can, right? So now what we're doing is we're expecting price to touch right down here. That's your TP1. That's the majority of your trade is going to be out right over here. Now you need to find your entry, which we don't tell you the entries because like we're not going to do that. But if you look, what we have here is a really nice clean move down. I'm expecting a new low of day right on this like flush here. Hopefully it just gets right down to this 880 level, which is our break of the IB. Does that make sense, by the way, guys? Like, James, does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it makes sense for me. I like that. Salsa says, day done for me, tough conditions, but scalps work. Cheers, guys. Thanks for the stream. James, stick to trading, not pedal. Yeah, no, that makes sense for me. So if price action, you could have maybe taken that long scalp like I did, or like Anje was saying on NQ, but you're not going to expect it just to run, be a runner all day, because the data, as you said, is saying possible shorts on the cards today. But yeah, that makes sense. Do you have any pairs on data on moving averages? For instance, the SPX already tapped the 50-day moving average this morning, but yeah, so no no moving average
No
data.
moving average. It's very, very hard to make reports on that. Make reports that are objective, at least
Sure.
on moving averages. It's very hard. So
Yeah.
we need to make sure that every report that we have is
objective.
Yeah, it's objective.
You
like
can
anyone
quantify it.
Results. Exactly.
Yeah. So if you have requests on reports, you can actually put them in the live chat on the edgeful website as well. But as you just said, you need reports. You need stuff that people are asking or requesting. They need to be quantifiable. For example, if it breaks the opening range, how far will it move? On average and stuff like that.
And guys, you can see it didn't touch yet. And I'm not going to say that it is going to touch. I'll wait for it because it's probably going to do it right now. You see, I'm not a wizard and I'm not predicting the markets. I don't have any like wizardry that I can predict what's going on. But this is exactly how you use data to trade these markets, right?
Yeah.
Right opening candle, price breaks previous day's low. Right over here, you have the IB buy rejection, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Again, of course, it just bounced right now, but the overall bias is super unlikely that it's going to touch up here, right? It's very likely that it's going to come down and break this IB low. Very, very, very likely. And then from there, you have another set of reports that you can go and look at for targets and everything else, right?
Yeah.
But overall, your bias should be bearish today, expecting a break of the IB.
Perfect. We've got some great stream, great insights. Love this. Perfect. Yeah. Well, Mondays and Fridays will be on here, as mentioned.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, let's get some volume profile data. Is that possible?
We actually cannot do that because we don't receive the data we receive the open, high, low, and close of the candles. We don't get you need the individual trade data in order to recreate a volume profile.
Okay.
So we don't get it. So we're not going to use like TradingView's volume profile. Like we're going to make our own. And you can't recreate a volume profile with open, high, low, close data. And I'm actually going to show you a perfect example of why. So right here, there it is. Right, guys? So just so you know, this was exactly what I had said probably 10 minutes ago. This is almost exactly 10 minutes ago, where you take the short trade because the data is telling you that price is going to break over here, right? So I just want to make that clear. I hope that you guys actually saw this. I did not take this trade because the risk was too big, because I didn't get that move up that I wanted to. But overall, this is the type of move. This is the type, like in this case, this was 130 points, or even if you were to enter with more confirmation, 100 points, even if you entered at the break of the structure, it's 72 points, whatever else, right? There was like a million different instances where you could have taken this trade targeting a break of the IB low. And this is how you trade with data. This is exactly how to do it, right? So I'm going to show you now why we can't create a volume profile just very quickly. So I'll switch over here to a 30-minute. Okay. So right here, we have a candle. Let's look at this first 9:30 candle. And let's say that right over here, this candle has, well, sorry about that. 1 second. Okay.
Interesting. That Apple is still moving higher. That Apple trade that I'm in.
Oh, good. Are you long?
Yeah, I'm long Apple.
Oh, good.
But small on just showing the opening range breakout trade as well. Yeah.
This candle specifically has 219,000 contracts traded on ES, this opening candle right here on the 30-minute time frame. We receive, as edgeful, we receive the open, the high, the low, and the close, and the volume. But 100,000 of the contracts might have been at 67.20, and then the rest could be here, right? So we don't actually receive the data on where the price was executed, where the contracts were executed. That's obviously extremely important in order to figure out the volume profile. So that is why we don't have it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
makes sense.
So guys, same trade setup exactly here on ES. That same thing. It still hasn't played out yet, though. Not that you should take it right now, but
yeah,
that break to the downside is the move that you want to look for. So again, the moves here are now getting a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, we've just been super choppy morning. So I'm glad I got out of that quick scalp for that long to the high side, up 8 points or so. Now we're coming lower. It's going to be interesting to see what we do get rest of the day, though.
Yeah, I'm expecting this IB break on the
interesting. Yeah, we're still inside at it. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it's going to happen right now. There might be a little bit of a bounce, but this is how I'm definitely expecting a move down to the downside right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially on these low volume days, you got to just take what the market gives you pretty quickly.
Yeah. 100%. So there it is on ES. Another one. Wow, pretty solid morning here. It was a little bit boring, but pretty solid morning overall. Kind of going through like how to use the data. This is a perfect explanation of how to use it, especially where not only did we avoid the choppy price action in the morning here, but we're now able to not get faked out of a larger move up. We're able to capitalize on the way down. Obviously, I didn't take this trade, unfortunately, because I didn't have the risk to reward wasn't there for me. But this is how you can use the data to understand, not predict, but understand where price is going. And this is exactly how to do it.
Yeah, some of the guys put in the Discord now that they took that trade that you called out, the shorts. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, break of the IB low on ES. It's gone roughly 5 points lower. Again, on NQ here, this is like absolutely no-brainer up top, especially come up, fail, come up again, fail, come up again, fail. Another time. This is where I honestly should have gotten short, but I didn't want to leave a giant stop.
Yeah, a big stop. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where I should have gotten short. This is honestly looking back at on the 1 minute, it looks a lot cleaner, but on a 5 minute, this long wick should have been a really good entry signal, honestly.
Sure.
But the problem is that the wick itself was almost 60 points. So your stop being at a valid area would have to be almost 80 points up. And like, I'm just not doing that. Like,
yeah. No, sure.
But yeah, this is exactly how you use the data, guys. This is how you're going to go through. This is, again, even yesterday, this is something I said for anyone who just joined. I was saying yesterday that I was trying to sell call spreads. So call spread, just so you guys know, is a bearish, as you sell options, it's a bearish sentiment play. Looking for price.
I thought calls were bullish and puts were.
Yeah, they are. But when you're selling the call.
Oh, you're selling the call spread. Okay,
yeah, so you're selling the calls, which means, so like if I go to SPY quickly, or I'll switch SPY over here. I'll leave NQ up. I imagine most people want to look at NQ.
Is options sometimes better to trade than futures? Like, for example, like now where you can't get a stop on entry price, but you just got the direction. You want the direction on options, basically.
So actually, it's a great. I'll touch on that right now.
Sure.
So can you guys see this, by the way? I know I'm like really zooming in. I don't really do this a lot, but like, is this chart clean on your end, or should I make it bigger? Because
let us know in the chat there. I can see.
Let us know, because I don't usually zoom in to this extent, but this is like, I want to make sure you guys can see it. That's why I'm doing it.
Sure.
So I'll switch over to SPY here. And okay. So right now we have a very bearish day, right? We have a break of previous day's low. We have an IB buy rejection, bearish. We have opening candle, it's bearish. Theoretically, that means that you don't want to expect price to close green today. So what you could do is you could sell the call spreads up here. So pretty much what this is saying is that price, as long as price stays below this blue box at all day today, this blue box up here, I'll make it red. Right? If price can stay below this red box, you're going to make money because you sell it, let's just say for $100 for easy numbers. You sell it for $100 as the day goes on and price consolidates in this area. What happens is the time decay will slowly degrade the value of the option. And you had sold it for 100, slowly it's going to go from 100 to 90 to 80 to 70, et cetera, all the way down, right? And the more time goes on with price consolidating below this area, the lower the value of the options are, which is what you want. You want it to go to zero because you sold it for 100, you want it to go to zero, and that's that. So one of the reasons that I was thinking about doing this yesterday on SPY, which I couldn't, again, the value of the option wasn't worth it for me, but I wanted to sell the 680 call spreads, right? So what I wanted to do was this. The next day expiration, 680 call spreads. Why? Because if we go to the high and low by weekday report, oh my God, I'm gonna need a. So I'm gonna have to stop talking for like 2 days after this. So if we look at this week, is obviously going to be red, right? This is obviously going to be a red week. Monday's going to close, or sorry, Friday's going to close below Monday. This is going to be a red weekly candle. There's no question about it. Unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, something wild.
It's not going to happen. So right now I'm filtering for all of the, I'll go to SPY. I'm filtering for all the red weekly candles, and I want to know what weekday made the low of the week. Right here, I'm in the high and low by weekday report. I'm using the bi-weekly candle sub-report, and now I can see here 75% of all of the lows made on the red weekly candles were on the Friday. So what I wanted to expect here yesterday was that price would either open below Thursday's low, or if it didn't open below Thursday's low, it would break Thursday's low to make the new low of the week.
Sure.
Right. And that would mean that today the options were worth nothing practically, because the odds of this move happening, a 15-point move or on a SPY, would be extremely unrealistic. So the options are great, but I think that if anyone's getting into, if you're new and you're considering either options or futures and you want to buy, you don't want to sell, without question, go to futures. Do not buy options. There are so many more complexities that go into it.
Yeah.
If you want to sell options, that's great. I would recommend anyone to sell options, because what you're doing, options are great for people that say, I always know where price is going, but I can never get the entry right, and I always get stopped out. But you're always right directionally.
Sure.
Because like today, let's say that you were to enter here, you got stopped out here, you enter again at the break of the low, you got stopped out again. That's where your account will bleed, but directionally on the short side, you're right.
You're correct.
Instead of doing that, you can just sell call spreads above the high of day and just wait, right? There's no management. You don't really need to manage the trade that much. The win rate with selling options is typically very high. The risk to reward is horrible.
Sure.
Horrible. So the way that it works is that theoretically, let's just say, wow, this is the price action is becoming a lot cleaner now, by the way, guys. Let's switch to a 5-minute just because this 1 minute is like really messy. This is, I'll talk about the targets in a second, but the risk to reward when you sell options is, let's just say you sell it for $50 right? You collect $50 per contract. I'm going to use one contract now because it's simple. You collect $50. The maximum that you could make in a day is $50 because that means the 50 goes to zero.
Sure.
That's it. It's the maximum that you can make. But the maximum loss that you can take is like $450, let's say. Like it's usually
Jeez, that's quite hectic.
It's like your max loss, like your worst possible situation. It's a 1 to 10. It's a 1 to 10 risk to reward.
Sure.
But you win so often because it's very easy to be right.
Okay.
But the one time you lose will typically wipe away 10. For anyone who sells options, I never recommend you allow the trade to go to your max loss because you're wrong well before your max loss actually gets hit.
I'm with you. Yeah, you cut it early.
You know what I mean? Like you're so wrong by the time your max loss gets hit, but you do have.
Yeah, you might as well just get out, save yourself some bucks.
Exactly. So the way that it works is you never, like, once you're even like there's a hint of you being wrong, you typically just want to close the trade because the risk to reward is so bad. Sure. Because if you tilt or you get really greedy and you let one trade blow up, you're going to wipe away like 2 weeks of gains. With one trade.
Wow.
But again, the win rate is so high that, like, if you manage your risk well, it's a very easy way to make money. It's a very
for faster cash flow as well.
Exactly. Yeah, you can make $50, like $70, $50, like, and it adds up. And this is the definition of like batting for singles.
Yes.
And you're just going through you're building your account slowly and surely. Like you have a max gain, so you can never have a home run day.
Sure.
But it's a very, very nice way to stack some winners.
Sure. Yeah, and obviously, as you said, like if you're getting the direction right majority of the time, but your entries are, because with futures you do have to have more sound entries. Like you can have the correct bias, but if your entries, like you could sell it down at these lows and can bounce and then end up lower, it's a bit more. It becomes a little bit more tough with the getting the correct entries, and that makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Any other questions in the chat? Yeah, some of the guys are liking that. Just hedge the underlying equivalent is just one contract, so just enter a position in the market to hedge it. Are you saying on the futures? Or what do they mean by that, Andre?
I'm not sure, actually. Well, I know that you can, like, if you're long, you can like sell options. There's a bunch of different strategies. I don't know specifically what you're talking about, but I know that if you are long, like, you can sell options and then collect premium as price falls. But it's not really like even complicated. Well, I've started with options, so it's like easier for me to, like, it's more like second nature to me, but I'm not sure specifically what he's referring to.
Someone's asking, do you recommend naked or spreads? Jeez, this is all different lingo to me, bro.
Never, ever, ever. So the risk when you sell naked options is extremely, extremely, extremely high. And personally, I would never recommend doing it just because it's just not worth it. Because, like, this is not going to be an options course, but always spread. When you're selling options, always spreads. Don't sell calls naked. Don't sell puts naked. Pretty much what happens is, I'm not going to get into like a whole thing right now. I'm sure people are like I don't want to hear this, but always spreads. Always credit spreads. Don't sell naked options ever.
Okay. Geez, this is all like options 101 to me, bro. Yeah. But I think today's stream has been pretty solid. Obviously, again, we'll be here Monday, same time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Get in the chat, ask your questions, and Andrew, I mean, what's the time now? We can wrap it up here if you want to let your voice get some rest, and we'll go from there.
It's good. I'm excited to do these more often, honestly.
Yeah. We've had quite a few people watching across the channels. Across my channel, Edgeful's, Andre's personal Twitter, or X, whatever. Perfect, guys. That's all for today. We appreciate you guys joining. We'll see you on Monday, same time. And Andre, I'm looking forward to these.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Perfect.